Krishna, everybody. Welcome to our session, an exciting one because we are entering this golden period of the year where for so far in this year we have been receiving this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and thinking about it, and now this is the time when we get an opportunity to share it with as many people as possible. So Prabhupada started this this time of the year, this phenomena called the Gita Marathon, and which is basically a marathon where everybody comes together to read the Bhagavad Gita and then share it with as many people as possible.
It's also like the World Enlightenment Day, right?
Yeah.
We want to share this because we have benefited so much. And actually, in the process of sharing, we also, our learning actually goes deeper. So Vaisheshika Prabhu loves to, I love this analogy of inhalation and exhalation. So we've been coming together and actually we would really want to congratulate all of you for being so steady, you know, through the pandemic. In the last year and a half, we've been regularly coming together, studying the Bhagavad Gita, studying the Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting every day. So it's just been the most amazing yajna, sacrifice that we've been engaging in. And now a big part of that sacrifice is we've inhaled and now it's time to exhale. And in that way, our capacity for inhalation will also increase. So as part of that, what we have put together or tried to put together is a short presentation, because I know that many of you have expressed a desire to share, but don't really know where to start from. So this is like a template, a PowerPoint template that can help you approach people and be able to present the Bhagavad Gita in a way that, you know, that might be a little bit interesting
and relevant to people.
So we'll, without further ado.
And we'll also share with you the different resources that are available to you when you reach out to people, different avenues where the Bhagavad Gita can be sent. So without much ado, let's jump into the presentation.
You have to just make sure you have the sound on.
Yeah. So the name of this campaign for this last 3 months of the year is called Live to Give. And we'll explain why that name was given. It's a transcendental marathon to distribute 2.5 million, at least 2.5 million Gitas worldwide. This is the worldwide goal of Vaisheshika Prabhu. And I'm sure together all the thousands and thousands of devotees and temples working together will beat this goal.
So why should we do this? This is a very big question that we may sometimes encounter. So the reason we do this is because, you know, as we're going to hear from Emerson, that men lead lives but of quiet desperation. So we see that in the world, you know, people are actually really struggling with trying to find meaning and purpose for their actions. And so here we see how this person is pushing a rock and it just kind of coming back, and it's just on and on and on and on. And so many people actually right now are in fact even resigning from the work because they don't understand, why should I work?
Yeah, they don't want to push this boulder up the hill anymore. But then what? Even after giving up work, you still need to find the meaning. And that's where Bhagavad Gita comes in.
And so this is a very famous quote by Thoreau. Most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to their graves with the song still in them.
So we don't want to go to the grave with the song, because we all have a song, because we are deeply connected to the Supreme, the singer, who is Krishna actually. And we want to sing that song. And then Bhagavad Gita helps us to bring out this song.
So here is a little video clip of, you know, Viktor Frankl, who I think some of you are, you know him and some of you may not, but just in brief, he's a person who's actually at a concentration camp and suffered, you know, really horrific experiences there. But through all of it, he actually came out of it and, you know, started speaking about how to, you know, how to find meaning, how to find purpose, even through the midst of the greatest suffering. So let's listen to him and Jordan Peterson.
They bring out these two important topics of Bhagavad Gita, which is dharma and the meaning.
Have the conversation about rights without the conversation about responsibility, because your rights are my responsibility. That's what they are, technically. So you just can't have only half of that discussion.
Something has to go wrong. Okay, we'll skip this and then.
No. Hold on. Just give us a minute. Why is there no sound here? Can you maybe increase the volume here?
No, we can hear from here on this side.
Or you're able to hear the full sound because we are not able to hear anything.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, be able to hear this side. I don't know.
Now we know why. Okay. Go ahead.
No, it is the Realtek speaker.
Okay.
Okay, as long as you are able to hear, then that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Conversation about responsibility because your rights are my responsibility. That's what they are, technically. So you just can't have only half of that discussion. And we're only having half that discussion. And the question is, well, what the hell are you leaving out if you only have that half of the discussion? And the answer is, well, you're leaving out responsibility. And then the question is, well, what are you leaving out if you're leaving out responsibility? And the answer might be, well, maybe you're leaving out the meaning of life.
These types of societies virtually, or at least they are out virtually to satisfy and gratify each and every human need, except for one need, the most basic and fundamental need operant in man, the need for meaning. Consumer societies even creating needs, but the need for meaning, or as I'm used to referring to it, the will to meaning remains unfulfilled. It's what I'm used to calling recently the unheard
This is Arjuna's
cry
struggle.
for
We see in
meaning.
the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Actually, his whole struggle is actually cry for meaning. He's not able to find the dharma. He's not able to find. He's only thinking about his rights, but he's not thinking about his responsibility, which is another way of saying dharma.
And the Bhagavad Gita is actually a book on dharma. It's a book about responsibility. And as we're hearing here, that without talking about responsibility, we really cannot find meaning. And that's what it seems that the world is actually looking for. So the reason why we're sharing this is to say that how there is such a great need in the world
There's a
today.
great vacuum for people have money, people have everything, but without this meaning and dharma, life feels very purposeless.
And then somebody would say, well, yeah, this is all very good, but do we, here is a testimonial. This is an amazing, amazing interview by Will Smith. And
has it all.
And he says it, through as you hear the interview, you'll hear this. This is with Jay Shetty, and he's speaking about the impact that Bhagavad Gita has made on him.
Right?
Let's watch
I
this.
feel like I'm in what Radhanath Swami referred to as a perplexing situation. And I just really related to how the Gita handles those kinds of perplexing situations and recognizing that's what life is. You are born into a perpetual perplexing situation. And that it was the first time that I'd ever heard the spiritual idea like that life is a perplexing situation and you're never gonna get around being stuck in the duality. You have to elevate above the whole thing, and the Christian concept about that I always heard and never understood fully. And my grandmother would say all the time, you gotta let go and let God.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it was like that. It just, the Gita filled in that concept of what it really means. It doesn't mean don't do anything.
Yeah.
Let go and let God doesn't mean don't do anything.
Yeah.
It means do your divine duty, whatever that may be. And just for whatever reason, the study of the Gita at this particular point in my life really clarified a lot of ideas of how to move through a world where you almost can't do it right.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like there's God's playing a practical joke, right? And when you start seeing, that there's a trick in there you know, and the Gita illuminated that trick for me in a way. I was like, how could I be the biggest movie star in the world, be the best at all of this, and how you not love me? Right? And, you know, how was my family miserable? And it's like, that's the trick.
So we see here that how, you know, the Bhagavad Gita actually starts out with this perplexity. And so in the world right now, you know, especially right now, we're seeing so much perplexity. And so that's, you know, the whole idea is to, you know, see that how the Bhagavad Gita is so relevant, both from the perspective of looking for meaning, looking for dharma, right? What is our dharma? What is my responsibility? And how do I find this meaning? And finally, all the perplexities, how am I supposed to deal with all that? So
and no matter who you are, everybody is bombarded with these perplexities. That means everybody can use the Bhagavad Gita in their lives. So what is the Bhagavad Gita then?
So then this is something that we can share with people, that what is the Bhagavad Gita? It's a love song. The word Bhagavad Gita literally means, Bhagavad means, you know, the Lord, the Supreme Divine, and Gita means the song. So it's actually a love song. And if you think back, you know, Emerson says, right, that you actually go to the grave without having sung your song. And so this is actually a song. So this is actually in the shamanic tradition. They say that, you know, if someone is sick, then they say, when did you stop dancing, singing, or being enchanted by stories? So, you know, when we stop this, you know, this, or we don't have a connection to music and to dancing and to singing, then we find ourselves feeling very empty. And so Bhagavad Gita is
helps us find that song.
Yeah, helps us find that song.
And there is this African community culture where before a child is born, the couple or the parents, they go into meditation, and then a song is kind of revealed to them, and then they sing that song during the pregnancy, when the child is born, for every major event of the child, when the person grows up, during marriage.
The same
song is repeated, and even when the person dies. So it's the song basically that becomes the companion of that person throughout life, just like the samskaras in Vedic culture.
So just like that, so we all, you know, so the idea is to find that song. So the Bhagavad Gita is really like the song that accompanies the living entity through countless lifetimes. It's the eternal song that stays with every living entity. So by introducing people to the Bhagavad Gita, we are really introducing them to the song, which can help them as they're going through different changes of their life. So the Bhagavad Gita is a very, very beautiful song, and in fact, it's meant to be sung. So we can see here, you can hear this. This is just a short rendition of some of the verses of the Bhagavad Gita. You can share this. So, you know, so this song has had such an impact on the world that not just that it's a song that we keep to ourselves, but even great personalities like Emerson, Thoreau, Einstein, all these great personalities have actually studied it and have commented upon the impact that this has had on them. So you can actually read these when you're presenting it. You can actually share these you know, quotations or testimonials.
And not only people from the past, but even now, people in all different walks of life, especially in management, they are finding the concepts given in Bhagavad Gita very relevant to the economics. And that's why it's called karma capitalism, because capitalism is embracing the message of the Bhagavad Gita. Especially Business Week noted in an article that how management circles, they used to quote from this great 6th century text, The Art of War. But now they are turning towards the Bhagavad Gita. They're finding it, and they're learning the concept of duty, and cooperation, and
servant leadership,
selflessness from the Bhagavad Gita. It's becoming the in thing in MBA schools and management circles. So this is something that is very relevant.
And so people can definitely benefit. So when you're making your presentation, you can bring this out, that this is a book that will not just help you spiritually, but also how it will help the children and also help yourself as we are dealing with, taking on leadership positions in the world. So here is a real reason why we really want to encourage people to actually, assist in this propagation, because this Vedic knowledge, let's watch this and then maybe we'll talk about it.
The ancient texts of India were written and preserved on delicate palm leaves. These palm leaf manuscripts can last for hundreds of years if they are cared for and maintained properly. India is on the brink of a severe catastrophe as millions of these manuscripts begin to deteriorate. Some scholars in India are making a great effort to preserve these texts, but the possibility looms that the world could lose an enormous amount of classical literature and yoga knowledge if these ancient manuscripts are allowed to turn to dust.
So we see here is another text that also indicates the same thing. There was an article where it said that only less than 1% of the Vedic knowledge is actually intact. So most of it is lost. And you see that total number of branches is 21 for Rig Veda, only 2 known branches. So we see that if we don't preserve this knowledge, then this knowledge is actually going to be lost to the future generation.
And this is the Live to Give campaign. Is the aim is to preserve this knowledge through propagation, wide propagation and education. That's the best way to preserve any knowledge.
And that's why we encourage everyone, right? So as we go along, we'll see that. So, we obviously we don't have access to most of the Vedas, as we can see, less than 1%. But the good news is that the Bhagavad Gita is the essence of all the Vedas. So the 4 Puranas, the 4 Vedas, the 18 Puranas, all the Upanishads, the essence of all of that knowledge is the Bhagavad Gita. So, and hence we are requesting everyone. And then when you speak to people, you can also request them.
Because sometimes what happens is the Vedas and Puranas, people start thinking that they're not relevant for me. But how do I apply this knowledge? First of all, it's very complex and confusing. But Bhagavad Gita is such concise and to the point that I can really apply right away in my life. And therefore, by preserving the Bhagavad Gita, all the Vedas are actually preserved.
And so this is actually what the great acharyas, now here is a point where you can introduce, whoever you're speaking to, all the great line of teachers, starting all the way from Lord Brahma, and then Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who have tirelessly worked for thousands and thousands of years to write down this knowledge and then to pass it down, to systematically pass it down. So we have such a great line of teachers who have worked hard, and the way we can express our gratitude is by actually taking this further. And that's where this idea of becoming a mail runner for the Gita. So
in pretty much all the countries of the world, before the modern postal system developed, there used to be humans running as mail runners. They would carry mail from one place to another. They would risk their lives at any cost. They would take the mail, sometimes being attacked by wild animals, but they still somehow take the mail. So this is what means for us is to become a mail runner for the Bhagavad Gita by passing it on the next person.
So what we are doing is, when we are making this presentation to people, we are actually requesting them to join the chain. Yeah. We are actually forming a human chain.
Then them to also become a mail runner.
Yeah, so they can also participate by becoming a mail runner. And so here is another reason why we can encourage people to participate in this, because go ahead. This is
a very interesting geographical phenomena in the Middle East. There is a Jordan River which feeds a sea called the Dead Sea in the south, and also feeds a Sea of Galilee in the north. And the lower Bharavati, the Dead Sea is completely dead. That's why it's called dead. There's no life. The water is very, very salty there. But the Sea of Galilee is teeming with life. All kinds of fishes and plants and different birds come there. And it's like completely different phenomena. So why is that?
Even though, as you can see, the Sea of Galilee is so much smaller than the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
But still, and the reason for that is, even though it's receiving the water from the same outlet, one of them has no outlet, and the other one actually takes that water and then sends it out.
As you can see, the Sea of Galilee, north of the Sea of the Jordan River, keeps passing on through the Sea of Galilee. And therefore it is full. So the point is that by giving out, the Sea of Galilee become more alive and then becomes more fresh.
Even though it's just a smaller, much smaller water body. So, somebody could say, well, I really, so at so many different levels, at the level of preserving the Vedas, when somebody, plugs in and tries to share this, they're benefiting by preserving this very ancient knowledge, which can help generations to come. But also at a personal level, any person who plugs in and tries to share this knowledge will find themselves feeling more and more alive.
So it's a call to become the Sea of Galilee.
And now here's a third reason why, it is so powerful for someone to actually participate in this marathon, this world enlightenment, is because Krishna actually declares that in the Bhagavad Gita, that for one who explains this supreme secret, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and he will come back to me. And there's no one who is more dear to me, and there never will be anyone more dear to me.
So even though sometimes we think, oh, I may not be able to distribute. But somebody even who tries to make that attempt, or even plans to make that attempt, that, okay, I'll try to share this knowledge. Krishna only sees that effort, that intention. And the person, you automatically become very dear to Krishna. So this is the perfect gift for both the giver and the receiver. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita provides the perfect gift.
So here are your options.
So these are some of the options. We have the box of 24 soft-bound Bhagavad Gitas, or a box of 16 hard-bound Bhagavad Gitas in any of the languages below is only $125. That includes shipping anywhere in the continental US. For our folks in India, one box of 20 hard-bound Bhagavad Gitas is $1.70 if they want to pay it here, or 50 to 50 rupees if they want to pay in India. That also includes free shipping. And it's available in all these languages: English, Spanish, Hindi, Gujarati, Tamil, Telugu, Odia, Nepali, and then so on.
And
so
also
forth.
international languages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to encourage everybody, we have come up with these wonderful sponsorship options that, hey, if you don't feel comfortable giving out Gitas in yourself, you can also sponsor. And then what that does, we will send these Gitas to you. We'll show you in the next slide where we can send to different places. We have been sending them anyways, and we can send on your behalf. Or you can get a box or 2 or 5 and then send it out to people, or give it out to people, and we'll show where you can give. So these are the options that we have for like 251. You can get 2 cases of Gita, or sponsor 2 cases of Gita. And then you get a gift of, which is this blessed neck beads. Will show you what they mean. For 501, you get 4 neck beads, and plus we'll do a special puja for you in Mayapur, which is the birthplace of Lord Chaitanya, on the behalf of the person and their family. For 1108, you get a special flag from Jagannath Puri, very, very special place in the world, where a flag is hoisted every single day, many flags, and they're brought down. And it is said that the day a flag is not put on top of the Jagannath Puri temple, the temple will close for next 18 years. That's never happened in the history of the temple. And that flag is actually non-different from Lord Jagannath. So you'll get a special flag. You can frame it and you put it in your house, and it signifies victory, always success, in presence of Lord Jagannath. For 1508, you get a special kavacha. You can see it here, blessed kavacha from Vrindavan, which basically has dust of Vrindavan and many other holy sacred articles. You'll always have Vrindavan around your neck. And similarly for 2108, a special, all these other gifts plus a special puja done in Govardhan. And for 5108, you get either all of the above, a special puja in Udupi. We are going to Udupi soon, so we'll get a special puja done for you there. Also a pair of deities of Gaur-Nitai, or Guru Parampara deities, which are all our 5 main acharyas. So you'll get that. So anyways, these are some of the options that you can participate. Just wanted to show you what these blessed neck beads are. Because
this is, by the way, for those who may not know, this is His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu.
He's the leader of book distribution, Sankirtan, all around the world.
He's the one who actually takes these neck beads and he takes them to these very special sacred ponds in Vrindavan, and you'll see that he'll actually dip them and bless them.
This is the most important mission on the planet, to give the transcendental knowledge to the people of the world through Srila Prabhupada's books that actually connect them to Vrindavan. It's inconceivable.
Voice is
that
not
the
clear.
world in its most fallen state can be receiving the highest benediction. Here at Uddhavakund, we're praying for the success of the Sankirtan movement. I'm going to take these beads that we're offering for all the Sankirtan devotees around the world and place the sacred water of Sri Uddhavakund upon them, praying that Sri Uddhava will bless you with the desire to live in Sri Vrindavan Dham. Gaur Premanande. Pray that.
And on Gita World Enlightenment Day, December 14th, a very special yajna, which is a sacrifice, a puja, worship will be done in Kurukshetra, the same place where Lord Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. So anybody who participates by getting Bhagavad Gitas or sponsoring them, their names and the names of their families, you can send them to us, and then we'll send them over to this yajna, and the names will be offered in that yajna. But these are the different destinations where we have been sending Bhagavad Gitas for last so many years. Hospitals, prisons, motels. We send out at least 1,000 or more Bhagavad Gitas every month from the sponsorships that we get. Hotels, yoga studios, and these are also the places where you can reach out. Just think out of the box, your neighbors, your friends, relatives, door to door, anybody, your mailman, yoga studio, your salon, hair salon, your accountant, your doctor, your dentist. Just make a list of people, go through your contact list and see who I can reach out to. What you can do is schedule an appointment with them and then
make a presentation.
Make a presentation that we want to share a presentation of Bhagavad Gita for 20 minutes, and then give them, share this with them. And these are some of the names of places where we have sent. So this is the
next time you check
video
into
about
some
the
local
Motel Gita.
hotels.
When checking into a motel, there are some basic bedside standards. The nightstand, remote, alarm clock. But now there's a new addition in some 45,000 rooms nationwide. Next to the Gideon Bible, the Hindu Gita.
The Bhagavad Gita is one of the most famous books in the world. It's a Sanskrit writing from India, but it's revered by the likes of Mahatma Gandhi, Dr. Martin Luther King was a big fan, Henry David Thoreau.
The Gita is essentially the Hindu Bible, and thanks to the San Jose-based Pankajanya project, these books are quickly becoming a motel staple.
Indian Americans own many of the hotels across the country, and simultaneously Americans are very much interested in Indian culture. So some of our congregation members decided that this would be a great opportunity to give this message to people all across the country in motel.
From hotel conventions to word of mouth, the Gitas are multiplying quickly. The goal? To get this Hindu holy book into 1 million motel rooms nationwide. And today they're well on their way. 31,000 copies were ordered at a recent hotel convention alone.
We are spreading the word of peace.
Roman Patel has the Gitas stocked in all 6 of his Bay Area hotels, and he says his guests are embracing it.
They said this is a beautiful book, and maybe can we take it, please? So we say yes, go ahead, take it.
So as you can see, a lot of guests that take the Bhagavad Gitas with them. There's so many stories where people come back and say, this book really helped me a lot. So again, see, these are some of the testimonials. We have been sending these Bhagavad Gitas to Veteran Affairs hospitals, and so many letters we have received from them, even from prisons, that how people are really benefiting from these Bhagavad Gitas. So our goal is to, from our Baltimore group, our goal is to distribute at least 12,000 Bhagavad Gitas, which is 500 boxes of the soft Gitas or more. Pretty much every year we keep beating this goal, but this is what we are aiming for. These are the different payment options. You can either mail a check to in the name of ISKCON Baltimore to our address, or you can send it through PayPal. The address is there, Zelle or Venmo or Cash App. All these different options you can share with the people that you are presenting this. And these are some of the contacts for website orders. You can contact, anyways, these are some of the names that we have.
Will we
For
get
book
this
shipping, Madan
presentation,
Murari,
Prabhu?
and for
Will we
Baltimore
get this-
congregation, we have some names
Will we
here.
get this presentation, Prabhu?
So the reason why we are doing this is really because each living entity, as we started with this, right, that we're all feeling despair, and we're actually finding ourselves in a place which is not our natural habitat. It's not our home. And so we'll just end with this. This is a short, heartwarming video about this chimpanzee who's released into its natural habitat and the gratitude it feels. So this, the reason why we make this presentation, the reason why anyone would join us, because of this gratitude that they would feel at receiving this.
And the feeling of going back home.
Yeah.
This is a really exciting moment for me. Here is Wunda, and she nearly died, but thanks to Rebecca, she came back from the dead almost.
So this is what Bhagavad Gita does. And then you can think of yourself as the person releasing the next guy.
So this is
So
our,
this is our website sponsored Gita. I just wanted to bring that up on the screen so that you can see. Satsandarbha Prabhu has developed this beautiful website for us. And you can point people you are making the presentation to the website. It shows that this is our goal worldwide. Give a gift of the Bhagavad Gita.
no, I don't think it's being shared.
Oh. Okay, let me share.
Are we getting the presentation, Prabhu? Will we get the presentation?
Sorry. So this is the sponsorgita.org and shows our 2.5 million goal and be an instrument. They can click here to order a case of Bhagavad Gita or whatever, how many ever, or they can see the different options that are available to them. They can click on here to sponsor 2 cases or sponsor 5 cases or whatever for every option. What's going on here? They can click and all the details are here. And you can also go to resources to download some of these donation form, sponsorship form, the different destinations, those posters that we showed you. So all of them are here. And the PowerPoint and everything we'll share with you in a separate email, which will have the Dropbox folder with the PowerPoint and everything that you can just download to your computer and share it to others.
And this PowerPoint, of course, is very detailed. So depending on who you're speaking to, you may decide to maybe use maybe part of it or maybe skip some parts that you might feel is not perhaps as relevant for the person that you're speaking to. So depending on that, but it's just basically it's to help
provide you the foundation and you can pick and choose. You can skip through it, just show maybe 5 slides. It's up to you, but you can use it whichever way you want.
So I guess we'll stop here and see if you guys have any questions, comments, or